All right, here is my current computer setup. Okay, you see I have a Surface Pro. It's dirty. It's broken. The battery has bulged out. There's damage to the casing as well. Also, the touch screen no longer works on it. And I have this connected to an external monitor. Now, I also have a display thing for my iPad, which I recently turned in as part of what you're about to see. I've used Windows my whole life. Stay tuned. Currently at the Apple Store, there's education pricing as well as gift cards for MacBooks and iPads. So here is a MacBook Pro. I'm finally making the switch. And you can see I already have a watch and I already had an iPad and I'm filming this on a phone. So it's only a matter of time. And there it is. And I get this unboxed. So as you can see, it's almost exactly the same from side to side as my previous computer, but because of this edge, this is around 13 something, it's Surface Book 1. This actually has a higher, a larger display. Now here it also comes with the cord from the connector to USB-C, as well as of course the brick, which I assume has a USB-C input, and it does. I haven't unwrapped that yet. And of course, all the fun stuff here, you know, Apple stickers, the whole 9 yards. So the brick has the Apple logo on it, flips out, and also, of course, detaches, kind of like previous versions of the one that came with the iPhone. Also, the MacBook Pro here on the bottom has it, on the bottom of it, MacBook Pro, which is kind of cool. So anyways, with that being said, we open it up and it makes a noise, and somehow the screen protector comes off, and as you can see, it has that Apple boot up as well. So I am going to plug this in and I'll be back. So as with any new Apple product, when you open it up, it does all of the languages. I'm just going to press a button. We're going to say English. Let's get that trackpad working here. Maybe.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
Oh, okay, no trackpad. We're just hitting return. So it knew what I was doing here, trying to do, I guess. Obviously, we want United States, so we'll type U, and then that disappeared. We'll keep going down. United States, return. Continue, maybe? I'll be back. Okay, so now we're to the cool part, Migration Assistant. I'm going from Windows, from Mac to Windows. So here we go. We're going to continue through this, and I'll bring you guys back in here in a second. So you have to download this Migration Assistant here on Windows. Remember, this extra display, this is all Windows at the moment. And then we should be able to transfer. Okay, so eventually you get to this screen on the Migration Assistant, and this turns up and shows this. I like how it shows an ancient computer. Anyways, we're going to hit continue on here, and it's going to give me a code, and now I have to verify that on this computer. So we're going to hit continue there, testing the network quality back here. Then it's connecting to my Mac. As we go, this is actually working out really well, kind of having these displays set up like this. Okay, so it has now flipped to this screen, and now it gives me these options here. And so now I can choose what I want to keep in not. So it tells me how much is selected and how much I'll have available on this PC. So I decided what I wanted, and then I had created a password to be an administrator of those things. Warranty, sure, it's not like I can disagree. I want to use this. And so now it's transferring. Just like this over Wi-Fi is how this works. They both have to be on the same network, and they are. And so now we are migrating, and this will take, I assume, some time. While this happens, it's worth noting how much thinner this edge is compared to that edge. I mean, it's night and day. I can get the ruler out here in a second. I mean, it's less than half a centimeter here versus probably every bit of a centimeter and a half on the other display. It's also probably worth noting, taking a look at these keys down here. Remember, the thing that's going to be hard for me is saying Command C, Command V, Command F, all those Command X instead of Control. You know, when I'm copying or pasting or whatever. Also, Touch ID located here will be very cool. Most people, although on my phone, when that was a thing, I would use my thumb. Here, lots of people will use their pointer fingers. So it's working. So update here, it went up to like 6.5 hours when it first gave me an estimate of time, and then it ballooned up very quickly to like 10 hours, and then slowly worked its way back down to where it's at about right now. I mean, it's probably only been working for, I would say, less than 20 minutes at this point, and it's been consistent, saying around 7 megabits per second, megabytes per second. So again, you know, we got 5.5 hours. I'll probably come back this evening will be the next time we check on it, and hopefully by then it should be good. This is probably the biggest folder. Here are the documents. I have 80-ish gigabytes of stuff in there. I mean, that's stuff I've had even before I had this computer. So stay tuned. So at some point, the migration completed here. So we will go to the Mac and hit done here. And I guess I got to put my password in. And here we are. It's asking me about this again. Continue. Apple ID, stay tuned. So it sent a push notification to my phone verifying it was me. I'll hit agree. Now we're setting up Siri. Hey Siri, what does the rest of my day look like? It's been a hot second since I've had to do this for any Apple product whatsoever. But here we are. And now, you know, doing the edges of the finger. I mean, I remember when I got my first Touch ID iPhone, that was something. So I turned dark mode on because I like dark mode. And it's thinking. And, oh, wow, look at that. Here we are. Well, let's, wow, and it updated the background already. Wow, it imported that. That's really cool. So now we're downloading Chrome, and here in a second I'm going to pull up all the tabs I had on the computer, and then I guess I can shut that computer. So here's my website. I have, obviously, old USB stuff for everything, but I have this docking station here, which will become very important here in a hot second. So what we're going to do is I'm going to find the dongle for that. This USB-C to USB-C, plug in one USB-C here and the other into this docking station. So now do we want the accessory to connect? Yes, we of course do, because this will allow us to connect this accessory in to a USB port. Perhaps most importantly, I need 365. So we're downloading all of that, and we'll be back here in a second. All right, so I have Office. I have some of the apps I use. Not all of them, but most of them. Now it is time to disconnect the external display from the old computer. And here in a second, wherever I put my HDMI cable, we'll plug the HDMI in and get this set up to the new one. I downloaded my programming stuff. On to the fun part. I hope it doesn't take that long. Anyways, on to the fun part, HDMI cable. So just like that, here it is. I do notice this at the top here, so that's interesting. But still, overall, what it should look like, I think. Well, my old display had two displays, so what's better than two but three? So I had an iPad. I decided to upgrade to an iPad Air because it has functionality called Sidecar that goes with the Mac here. In the Mac, because it gives you a gift card with education pricing, and I traded in my iPad and I traded in my old phone, and it ended up making this iPad cost less than $150. So I bought this iPad on education pricing as well, which also gave me another gift card, which made the Apple Pencil basically free. So we're going to set all that up now. All right, I haven't looked yet. Very similar packaging to how the Mac was packaged. This kind of not quite see-through paper around it. There's this at the bottom. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, wow, look at that. Again, the thinner edges on that. Again, that fits right here on this stand. But before we get to that, we have another fancy box thingamajig with, I assume, more stickers. A USB-C to USB-C, and then a wall outlet USB-C as well. So the iPad came with these white stickers, and just a reminder here, the Mac came with these black stickers. So anyways, oh, and they're different size too, it appears. That's interesting. The iPad has bigger stickers than the MacBook. And there it is. Again, this plugs into this docking station, which all is powered through the computer. I'll probably change around the cords at some point. But for now, the easy button, a wonderful hello, swipe up to open, and we'll set this up. If I can swipe, English, United States. Well, let me shut my phone off from recording and do this. All right, so as we can see here, this is what's going on the phone. Set up new iPad, continue. Obviously, I'm blurring out my email here. Hold my new iPad up to the camera, so we'll go ahead and do that. Again, you guys are seeing what's on the phone, or should be, and so we'll set up for me. And on the iPad now, I'm putting in the passcode for my phone. So getting the data and privacy just like we had on the Mac, 2 seconds ago. Well, for you, it's 2 seconds ago. Touch ID on the iPad is actually on the corner here. So I don't know which one I want to use. I'll probably use the other pointer fingers. So as I did my Apple ID, it popped up my phone and here at the same time. Looks like we finally got the software for our studio, so that's good. iPad sets up. We can do our third and final unboxing of the day. This Apple Pencil Generation 2, which should latch on to the top of the iPad. It does, in fact, slide out, and then this top part kind of comes off. And here is the pencil. But of course, what everybody cares about is, do we have stickers in here to compare with the other stickers? I mean, wow, is it all paperwork and no stickers? What's up with that? All right, so welcome to iPad. Doesn't work yet because I haven't synced it, which I do somehow, so stay tuned. Honestly, that's probably what the paperwork was for, but I assume that's all I had to do. That's neat. Okay, I was right. So I assume I have to take this off now, and you guys get to watch me. I'm actually going to take the iPad down off the stand. It's easier to write that way. So the next thing was go to settings on the Mac, hit displays. It shows the built-in display, the one I have, and now we're going to click iPad as well. And looky there is the iPad. Now we're going to want to hit arrange, and it'll let me drag this to where it actually kind of sort of is, which is around there in reality. Look at the presentation here. So we're going to hit done. And how do I start the sidecar is a whole different story. Stay tuned. Okay, so basically you go up here to Control Center, hit my iPad, and this turns black, and then it begins to mirror the display. Note, touch screen no longer works, but the Apple Pencil should work, and it does. Okay, so the problem was the displays that I arranged somehow got unarranged. So now we're actually good. So we already dragged stuff. See, look, it goes from side to side here. Well, also, it goes down here now, like it's supposed to. So sure enough, once we get the full thing on, it shows up. And again, touch screen does not work. The Apple Pencil does work, and so I can use this to do whatever I need to do while on here. So, I can ask it whatever questions I want. And again, this occurs. I just hit, the type thing, and I say hi, and all of a sudden all this shows up, return, and here we are. So overall, very cool. To end the session, though, we can just move that out of the way and hit this disconnect button down here in the corner. We disconnect, the iPad returns to its screen, pencil back on top, and that window we have pops back up on the main screen of the computer.